from PRX.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and friends beyond the binary. It's time for the podcaster who at times may be channeling Eeyore, but with more of a to be your Beor friend, where Eeyore's a little down. Actually, I'm up and happy to be here with you. So my tone kind of, even though Eeyore's is usually a reflection of his emotional state, I guess mine is too. I'm in a calm, present state here to keep you company with some nonsense, because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, before we move forward here, remember, Sleep With Me is built on empathy and compassion, and that means being here for you through the podcast. It also means that I provide resources in our show notes. If you're looking for, you need to connect with someone right now, there's organizations you can connect with in the show notes. It also means supporting the members of our community and not just saying Black Lives Matter, but offering you resources to join me on my journey, too, of change and looking at how can we do better. So there's going to be links to organizations that can support you on that journey in the show notes. And when your hand hits the fridge tomorrow, you could look those things up. You could check out these sponsors that enable me to be here free for you twice a week. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots here. I got a couple quick questions for you. I always ask these, like, how many episodes of Sleep With Me do you listen to a month or a night? Is it 4? Is it 8? Is it 12? So that's question one. Question two, how much do you pay that mega cable corp or super streaming service, every single month? And then would you give Scoots a raise? Would you give Scooter a raise compared to what you pay that streaming service or your cable company from $0 to $5 a month, or from $0 to $10 a month, or $0 to $20 a month? And you might say, Scoots, this is a free podcast. That's the wackiest thing I've ever heard. And I say, yeah, those are the people I'm looking for. If you're in a stable financial position, you get value out of the podcast, especially considering the stuff you pay for every month. And then, yeah, are you that 1 out of every 100 people that's just wild enough to say, wait a second, I get what you're saying. I'm going to give you a raise from $0 a month to $10 a month because you're worth it. Because I get a lot out of the podcast. I listen every single night. And some of you might say, well, you might be like, you're a tougher boss. I get it. I respect that. And you might say, well, come into my office, Scooter. Yeah, you put me to sleep every single night or 4 nights a week. But what else is in it? And I say, okay, $5 a month, you get ad-free episodes. $10 and $20 a month, you get bonus episodes, all intro episodes, all night episodes. There is so much in. I don't know. Are you the kind of boss that's wild enough to pay for a free podcast? Are you the kind of supervisor that's so wacky you'd go from paying me $0 to $5 or $10 a month? Well, if you answered yes, and that's okay if you don't. Really, it's only a small percentage of people that really are that wild. So if you are that wild and you're in a position to do so, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. You could support the show. You could give value back for the value you get out of the show, and you get amazing bonus stuff. You're a part of an amazing community, and you're a rebel. You're so rebellious to pay for a free podcast. That's at sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. Sleep With Me is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. In May's Mental Health Awareness Month and throughout June, Sleep With Me is proud to join the cause of destigmatizing therapy. If you've been struggling with relationships or having difficulty sleeping, meeting your goals, if you've been feeling anxious or stressed, BetterHelp counselors can listen and help. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional. You could start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. And BetterHelp's therapists have a broad range of expertise that may not be locally available in your area. The service is available for clients worldwide. All you need to do is log into your account anytime, send a message to your counselor. It's super easy to schedule weekly video, phone, or even live chat sessions. themselves. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches so they can make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. And so many people have been using BetterHelp that they've been recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And again, I'm someone that utilizes therapy with a licensed therapist. It's a huge part of my ability to be here, to make the podcast, to live my life, and to be present and to flourish. And I really believe in therapy. And I know from my personal life that BetterHelp is helping. So this is just something you want to try out. If it's something you're interested in, if it's something you feel like you need or you want, our listeners can get 10% off their first month of online therapy at BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. BetterHelp.com/sleepwithme. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody. You know I love my Helix mattress. It's comfortable. It fits my needs. It fits my room. And if you haven't heard the great news, Helix has left the bedroom. They launched a new company called Allform, and they're already making the best sofas we've ever seen. So why should you care about Allform sofas? I mean, comfort, flexibility, long-lasting, scratch and stain-proof. But for starters, it's the easiest way you can customize a sofa using premium materials at a fraction of the cost of traditional stores. You can pick your fabric. That includes the colors, the sofa size, and the shape to make sure it's perfect for you and your home. They've got armchairs and love seats all the way up to an 8-seat sectional, so there's something for everyone. So you could start small and add on later. And that way, your Allform sofa can grow and change with you and your family. It's also hassle-free. Allform sofas are delivered directly to your home with fast, free shipping. Allform takes just 3 to 7 days to arrive in the mail, and you can assemble it yourself in a few minutes with no tools needed. And you might say, Scoots, you sound a little bit different. You sound more relaxed. Well, that is because I'm recording from the Chase Lounge of my Allform. Oh, boy. And I love my Allform. It's comfortable. It looks good. It fits my room. But it's also our family hub. We got the popcorn popping, and we're getting ready for movie night. Sophia and I are going to spend some quality time together. Maybe even play a board game on the ottoman later. That's my pro tip. Also makes a great place to put your popcorn. And if you're saying to yourself, Scoots, that sounds great, but I'm not so sure about buying a sofa without seeing it in a store, you don't need to worry. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep it. That's more than 3 months. And if you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free and give you a full refund. They even offer a forever warranty. That's literally forever. So to find your perfect sofa, check out allform.com/sleep. And I can see you there, just like me, kicked back right now. You have a sofa, you designed it, and it fits you and your room perfectly. But better than that, you got an amazing deal because Allform is offering 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/sleep. That's 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time for the Sleepy Supporter Zone, the one part of the podcast I need you to hear. Yes, it's loud and brash because it's the listeners who supported the sponsors and told the sponsors they heard about them on the show. That's how the show's free twice a week, is those active listeners. I want to thank Kristen and Jim, who both got devices from Apollo Neuro to use as part of their wind down and their falling asleep time. And both of them let me know about it. Let the sponsors know about it. So if you support a sponsor, you could use the form at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors to let me know about it. Tag them in social media, tag me, and I can try to thank you here on the Sleepy Supporter Zone like Jim and Kristen. Thank you so much. The second part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need. If you need extra resources right now, there's links in the show notes. If you want to be a part of change and support the members of our community around the podcast and your community community, wherever you are in the world, in our world community. There's links to organizations that can help you get started by saying Black Lives Matter and standing in solidarity with the AAPI members of our community. There's links to resources where you can take action right in our show notes. And also something I support, and that's the Loveland Foundation. The Loveland Foundation is committed to showing up for communities of color in unique and powerful ways, with particular focus on Black women and girls. Their resources and initiatives are collaborative. They prioritize opportunity, access, validation, and healing. And you can find that at thelovelandfoundation.org or use the link in our show notes or Google it, Loveland Foundation. That is the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes too. Carl W. the Legend also edits episodes. Kenny, Scotty, and Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound or on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. I want to let everybody know, sign up for our newsletter at sleepwithmepodcast.com/newsletter. It is the best way to keep in touch with me and things around the show. And that is it. What do you say? We slow it down and get on with the show. Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble, getting to sleep, trouble, staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping you awake, whether it's thoughts you're thinking about, like things on your mind from the past, the present, or the future. It could be feelings or emotions coming up related to those thoughts, or just leftover, or anticipate, whatever feelings you're having. It could be physical sensations. It could be changes in time or temperature or routine. Whatever it is, I'm glad you're here. And what I'm going to try to do is take your mind off of that stuff and keep you company while you drift off. Because, just in case, this could be situational, work stuff, outside stuff, third, fourth, fifth, sixth shifts. I might invent the seventh shift. Can't remember the last one. I say that's the first shift where people are working in 5D. And you see, like, here's the thing. I'd rather you work in one dimension. I don't need you, I don't want you working in 5 dimensions. I want you here not working and going to sleep, I guess. So I'll go into the 7th shift and the 4th and 5th dimensions to kind of shut that down and say, hey, give this person's on break now. Imagine that. Like I come through a portal to your workplace and I say, excuse me, this person's now on break. And they say, well, who are you? And I say, are you familiar with the Tooth Fairy? And they say, well, yeah. And I said, well, I'm the break fairy. I come from land of, I'm here to give this person a break. And I say, I'm an authority figure, and I have magical powers. So just in case, just so you know, I have this wand here, wings, I'm winged. And yeah, I'm wearing a smart outfit too, because, this is breathable. Did you know this is breathable? I said, well, I could I could do that. But I'd prefer something with a breathable fabric, but comfortable. I don't need anything, and also I'm going to wear layers. And And that's why I have this, also have this bag. You can't see it. It's on my, they call it a backpack. It's a pack you wear on your back. But yeah, you'll get used to this. It's a new thing. I'll be popping in and I say, this person's on break now. Don't worry, it'll be reasonable, but it's reasonable for them to have a break. Oh, you know what? I may be by your office later or not, depending on your behavior. You know, break fairy sees it all. I see it once, I see it twice. And if you misbehave, the break fairy sees it thrice. So you think about what would be nice. Maybe a break. Also increase it, just so you know, we have one of those papers so that come in a PDF. You got to put your email in to download it, but it's a research paper on efficiency, breaks and efficiency. You thought I was introducing a sleep podcast. You're right. I got mixed up there. Sorry, I fell into a dual role. Whatever it is that's keeping you awake, I'm going to send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones. Pointless meanders just went on. I mean, it wasn't pointless. It was, I guess that was more of a superfluous tangent. I said, well, they said, well, doesn't the tooth fairy, you still owe me 50 cents for my tooth back from, and I'd say, okay, well, I'm on break, believe it or not. I'm actually the break fairy, but I'll get in touch with the tooth fairy and we'll see. I'll tell you what, since you gave all your employees one extra break, here's an extra 50 cents. You want, those were $1987? Okay, well, the break fairy doesn't do math, so I guess you'll have to bring it up with the tooth fairy. I got to get back. I also make a sleep podcast that when I'm not working. Well, I'm able to do both, but, so I'm going to send my voice, lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, superfluous tangents, all to take your mind off stuff so you could fall asleep. Now, my regular listeners, you already got to enjoy an early tangent there. I know that's for regular listeners, that's like usually a favorite thing. But if you're new, all of this could have thrown you off, which is totally understandable because, this is not like other podcasts, even other sleep podcasts or sleep audio. Our show is very different because, one, it's not meant to be listened to. It's meant to just barely pay attention to it. So that's one part of it. The other part is it doesn't really put you to sleep. I'm just here to keep you company while you fall asleep. So that's why shows are over an hour, to give you plenty of time to drift off. You can fall asleep at whenever it's convenient for you, but that way you don't feel any pressure. You got plenty of time, and I'm going to be here to keep you company and just talk. And you could either, as you become a regular listener, you say, okay, I prefer Scoots at this volume because I kind of do pay attention. Also, Scoots, I don't even know if I'm going to become a regular listener, but I'd love, where do I sign up for that break fairy service? And I'd say, I don't know. I'm looking for, obviously I don't want to charge for it. So I'm looking for some supernatural funding. And so, also, just in case anybody's listening that has the ability, like gods or goddesses, high-powered demigods and goddesses, supreme beings, members of the Supremes that may have superpowers, you could send some my way. It have to probably be like some sort of where I can be in two places, where I can, because I'd like to be on break. Obviously, I'm going to be the break fairy. But, I'll need some superpowers or supernatural powers, probably both. Also some multi-dimensional stuff. Maybe an, invisibility cloak. So in case, I got to do some, I got to slot, show up in the break room. And then I do a reveal. I say, this break room's empty. What's going on here? This is unacceptable. And the whole idea of, people working from home now, I'm going to have to show up at their places and say, hey, time for you to take a break. So anyway, one day we'll have, maybe. But I'm doing a sleep podcast right now. So you don't really pay attention to me and don't really put you to sleep. Other things that throw new listeners off is the structure of the show, which is understandable because, again, this is not like a normal thing. Show starts off as a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, so you feel seen and welcomed in. Then there's support for listeners. If you need anything extra right now in the show notes, there's stuff. Then there's support for the show, so we can be here for free. Then there's the intro. And the intro goes from like minute 6 or minute 8 to about minute 20. Though lately I've been testing out like a little bit shorter. And when I say lately, like when I'm recording it, but the episodes don't necessarily get, anyway, it's not important. But so then after the intro is business that keeps the show free. And then our story tonight, it'll be our a finale of our episodically modular series, Journey into the Land of Tomorrow, which you can listen to in any order at all, just a bedtime story that's slightly related to one another. And then there's the thank yous at the end. So the structure can throw people off, especially the intro, because a lot of new listeners say, well, when does the show get started? What is this intro stuff? And I say, well, you could skip the intro, and some listeners do. And like some podcast apps let you do that, or you could be a patron. You could just get story-only episodes straight to you. There's actually more patrons that listen to all intro-only episodes, though, than story-only episodes. Though not by a lot, but pretty close, but more. So you kind of got to see what you do, but the intro kind of serves a purpose to give you some distance from your day and to start the unwinding process, the unspooling of all that stuff that keeps us up. Like I found that I have to be eased into bedtime. And actually, the more I do this podcast and the more I get into saying, hey, what's going to be best for all of us here, my daughter and me, and what is our best, what routine really works, it is like this longer wind down, and that's something you kind of got to slowly develop, and you do have to sacrifice. I mean, for us, it's like, well, we're going to start making your wind down routine more pleasurable and more, I don't know, what's important, closeness and stuff like that, versus, hey, instead of watching TV for 45 minutes or an hour, we're going to do a quieter activity. We're going to do some quiet sitting or meditating, and then we're going to read together, maybe listen to an audiobook, and then maybe listen to a sleep podcast. And that's just to ease you into bedtime. And you can kind of adjust. Like some people are listening during the day for distraction. Like some people are doing an activity or getting ready for bed. So just kind of see what works for you. But that's why the intro kind of feels like, at least initially, it goes on and on and on, or it's a show within a show, is because that's kind of how it's designed, and it's easy to skip. There's 3% of people that say, I prefer not to listen to the intro. Though I will say the biggest intro fans are the people that initially didn't like the intro. It's just, I don't know if that's irony or what. So that's the intro. Oh, and yeah, and I talked about the story and everything. And the reason I make the show is because you deserve a good night's sleep, really. And I know how it feels out there in the deep, dark night. And if I can offer some relief and then the ability to rest, because I know how painful it is, to be honest, but also because our world will be a better place. It just is a better place to live in, knowing that your life's a little bit better. And that's not something I can do for everybody. And it kind of is this weird digital thing. But if my podcast, my rambling and stories and pointless meanders and, light humor, whatever, it can keep you company, whether you're awake or asleep. If you're awake, I'm going to be here to the very end to keep you company tonight. But I'm also going to be here to the very end if you fall asleep to keep you company. So that's important to me because you deserve some rest and you deserve an opportunity to be more rested tomorrow, to not dread bedtime, and to eventually flourish. So that's why I'm here. I really appreciate you coming by. I really hope and yearn and strive to help you fall asleep. Thanks again. And here's a couple of ways I'm able to be here for you free twice a week. All right, everybody. You know I love my Helix mattress. It's comfortable. It fits my needs. It fits my room. And if you haven't heard the great news, Helix has left the bedroom. They launched a new company called Allform, and they're already making the best sofas we've ever seen. So why should you care about Allform sofas? I mean, comfort, flexibility, long-lasting, scratch and stain proof. But for starters, it's the easiest way you can customize a sofa using premium materials at a fraction of the cost of traditional stores. You can pick your fabric. That includes the colors, the sofa size, and the shape to make sure it's perfect for you and your home. They've got armchairs and love seats all the way up to an 8-seat sectional, so there's something for everyone. So you could start small and add on later. And that way, your Allform sofa can grow and change with you and your family. It's also hassle-free. Allform sofas are delivered directly to your home with fast, free shipping. Allform takes just 3 to 7 days to arrive in the mail, and you can assemble it yourself in a few minutes with no tools needed. And you might say, Scoots, you sound a little bit different. You sound more relaxed. Well, that is because I'm recording from the Chase Lounge of my Allform. Oh, boy. And I love my Allform. It's comfortable. It looks good. It fits my room. But it's also our family hub. We got the popcorn popping, and we're getting ready for movie night. Sophia and I are going to spend some quality time together. Maybe even play a board game on the ottoman later. That's my pro tip. Also makes a great place to put your popcorn. And if you're saying to yourself, Scoots, that sounds great, but I'm not so sure about buying a sofa without seeing it in a store, you don't need to worry. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep it. That's more than 3 months. And if you don't love it, they'll pick it up for free and give you a full refund. They even offer a forever warranty that's literally forever. So to find your perfect sofa, check out allform.com/sleep. And I can see you there, just like me, kicked back right now. You have a sofa, you designed it, and it fits you and your room perfectly. But better than that, you got an amazing deal because Allform is offering 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/sleep. That's 20% off all orders for our listeners at allform.com/sleep. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Green Chef. And if you go to greenchef.com/90sleep and use the code 90sleep, you'll get $90 off, including free shipping. And oh boy, what an opportunity. Delicious dinners that taste amazing and that are easy to make. You've heard me talk about HelloFresh, and Green Chef is now owned by HelloFresh. So that way you have an even wider array of meal plans to choose from. And I love switching in between brands. Green Chef is the first USDA certified organic meal kit company. They have ingredients you can trust, seasonally sourced for peak freshness. All the ingredients come pre-measured, perfectly portioned, and mostly prepped, so you can spend less time stressing and more time enjoying the delicious home-cooked meals, or the pleasure of cooking with your partner or your daughter in my case. And there's so many options for eating well and affordable. Plans to fit every lifestyle. They have keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, but they said talk about your favorite one, Scoots, and that was the honey citrus glazed salmon with jerk spiced carrot fries and roasted broccoli, so you get a double vegetable. The amazing jerk seasoning on roasted carrots, oh my goodness, and then that perfect glaze on the salmon, so easy to make, so delicious. In a meal, I could say, wow, I really feel good about eating this and serving it to my daughter. With Green Chef, it's always hard for me to decide, what do I love more? The convenience and the pleasure of making it or eating it for sure. Eating it for sure, I guess. So sign up right now. Go to greenchef.com/90sleep and use the code 90sleep to get $90 off plus free shipping. That's greenchef.com/90sleep and use that promo code 90sleep, all one word, to get $90 off plus free shipping. And get your Green Chef order in. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And send me some cooking videos or pictures of you unboxing stuff. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, Scoots here. It's time for our episodically modular series, Journey into the Land of Tomorrow. It's episodically modular with a touch of seriality, but you can listen to the episodes in any order. So if this is your first episode, welcome. The characters are going to catch you up on everything you need to know to be comfortable. If this is your first episode or your third, or, if you listen, you say, well, it's actually my fourth. I listened to episode 9, then episode 6, then episode 3. Now I'm listening to episode 12. I say, don't worry, characters, that sounds perfect. So it's just a bedtime story. It's here for you, and it's simply some friends playing a role-playing game and going on an adventure. The adventure of friendship. I'm laughing just because, I'm laughing. Friendship's always an adventure, and it's an adventure in its own. Put that on a pillow. Friendship, it's an adventure. Awkward, knowing, but loving and forlorn laugh. That might not fit on a pillow, but this is the kind of stuff that cracks me up. Is true. Like, Scooch, you just said something true. And I say, wow, that's hilarious. It's too true. The adventure, friendship, and gameplay, and the adventure itself. Before we do that, zooming in all the way from Hollywood. Here's the thing. I don't know if I've talked about this because I tried to respect his privacy. And he didn't exactly like it at first. But I said, well, if you drive from your home all the way to my driveway and you never get out of your car and then you drive back, you'll be close enough to be on my Wi-Fi. It'll be like you're here with me. And he said, yeah, sure, I don't have, he said, I guess he may have been being sarcastic when he said, no, yeah, I don't have anything else. Sounds perfect. So I'm going to drive all the way from Los Angeles to the East Bay, sit in your drive. And I said, well, I said, I wonder if my Wi-Fi reaches all the way to the street? And he made a knowing sigh. And then, he's here to introduce the series. What a gentleman, what a voice, what a person deep down, and someone who loves to be on the road. Maybe my friend, your friend, our Hollywood announcer, Mr. Antonio Banderas. So ladies and gentlemen, the boys and girls, the friends beyond the binary, it's time to journey into the land of tomorrow. Roll those dice. Whoosh. Yeah. Thank you. It's Antonio Banderas, and this is Journey into the Land of Tomorrow. All right, everybody, have a seat. So we've left off for kind of not like in mid-planning. So which one of you is going to take over recapping? And because this might be like, I don't want to, it's kind of an important session. It's good to see everybody, but I want to get into it, okay? This is Eleanor, I think Zell should do it. Lord Von Chill here, I agree. Zell's our leader, and Granada. Yeah, Granada of Darmok here. I would say Zell. Mwada. Yes, Mwada here. I would say Zell, you are a leader. Take it from here. Okay, well, I'm happy to take the lead here, and lead like I don't think it's not a binary thing, leadership. So just want to point that out. We all lead at times, and we all can lead. But since you're looking to me to lead and recap the episode, like where we were at, this is a pretty good one because we're a team of adventurers here in the land of tomorrow, a land and in a theme park that has since gone to rest, no longer in use. At some point, it was discovered that there's a magical, powerful portal to another world here that needs to be sealed up and closed because it's having an impact on the area. And it could have disastrous effects for our world, or more than likely we've been searching for a staff, a headpiece and a gem or stone or something to close the portal. We found that. And we're here in like a space, dancing space attraction, mountainous space dancing attraction, Space Mountain Dance-Off. Was that what it was called at some point? But we suspect, we almost know the portal is below us, and we're about to try to complete our mission. And we're a team of adventurers. I'm Zell, a stout-hearted warrior, I would call myself, along with our other warrior, from the upper crust, Lord Von Chill. I guess if you're a lord, you're landed gentry. Working with Lord Von Chill's Granada of Darmok, fleet of foot, nimble of finger, great with the lasso, we learned. Is Granada of Darmok, then our healer, our nurse, but also such a strong warrior in their own right is Eleanor, Florentian nurse of the three Florences. And then no longer in humanoid form, but now in a water form, who can sometimes take on humanoid form, but I don't quite understand that, is our wizard, Mwada. And I think that's it. We're here, and we're at, I could do a place setting and lead into our plans, I guess, if I'm the leader. We got into the top of this. This is a well-guarded and protected place, this Space Mountain Dance-Off that I'm calling it. We had to get past a wizard who was guarding the door. Also, we suspect that outside of where we are, outside of the boundaries of this magical kingdom we're in, the land of some strange tower erupted from the ground. We think that's related to the portal. And we're here at the kind of one of the set pieces of the ride. I don't know what they call it, where there's animatronics for a time that feature one of the characters from this company, the Goof, and the Goof's cousins or kids or nephews or something and friends. But they're in a funkified version of outer space, or radical version of outer space, where very cartoonish in a good way, I think. I mean, this looks pretty funny and fun, but they were teaching outer space beings, imaginary, fictional ones, how to dance, and that was what would set up. I don't know, I thought a lot about it, because I said I would ride this attraction. Would set up the darkness and the day glow and the funky music for the rest of the attraction and disco type stuff. And that it would be fun, like dancing is. Oh, I think maybe we speculated piece through dance. And we've been working, we have a plan. We've recovered the best we can. We're going to get all our hit points back up and, maybe cast magical aid again or whatever to have our hit points as maximum as we can. And we're going to use our magical wrench that we found can bring these animatronics to somewhat of life and train the animatronics to go down. And this is, I'm speaking to the DM as well as our party, but feel free to, if anybody from our party wants to interject, train these animatronics, put them on the ride, send them down to surprise the wizards, and teach them to just simply grab the wizards and hold them, and then we'll go down and deal with it. Whether the wizards, I mean, there's some noise down there, but there's also the wind against this building, so it's really hard to tell what's going on in here. And some other sound, maybe that's the portal. There's like the humming of the wind, but there's some other humming, pulsing. And then we'll go down, we had talked a while ago about playing dumb versus using stealth or a combination, but I guess we could decide as we get closer But obviously try to surprise the wizards and see what they're up to. Close the portal. Whether the wizards are going to work with us or against us or who they are. And maybe we're only assuming they're wizards, but I think that's like inferring based on the information we have at hand. This is Eleanor. Yeah. So, yeah, I can roll to cast like aid to try to boost our hit points. And I think we have enough med kits to get everybody to 100%. And we won't be able to rest. So I'll have what should we do about the staff and stuff? That's the only thing I was thinking. Should we put it together? Like, Mwada, could you let us know? Or should we just figure it out when we get down there? This is Lord Von Schill. I agree. I think this is a good plan, and those are good questions. Thanks, Eleanor. Granada, I'm in agreement. This is Mwada. Eleanor, since you brought it up, I would think that maybe because of my water form, maybe the staff is best held in your hands. And at first I wanted to say we should hide it, but I think we should have it ready. Because the only thing is, what if we could just close the portal, like, from stealth? Like, I don't know. Like, we don't really know much else, right? It's like we may be still missing one piece of information. But if it's like a two-sided portal or something, we get down there, what if we don't even have to deal with the wizards? We could just close it. This is Zell. Are you saying that 100% is WADA or with any, like, because it's hard because you're being played as an NPC, kind of. This is MWADA. I mean, let's be realistic, but it's just an idea I felt I wanted to interject as a possibility. But it's not a scripted, it's a scripted idea it's not scripted from the adventure manual. Okay, good enough. Okay, so can we roll for all that? Magical aid for Eleanor and then training, like a DM, is that okay? Like, does that sound like our initial plan? Okay, so your plan, let's just go over it. So, magical aid. Okay, actually, okay, that worked. So I have, you kind of, hit points are boosted, so I got that. Then your plan is to, like, use a wrench and then train the goofs and like, it looks like there's 3 sets of cars up here. So if you were going to go down in the third car, 2, 4, 6, you could send down 8 goofs in the first 2 cars, 4 each. So you want to train them to go down and then grab the wizards using the wrench. And then you will go down in the last car. Is that a consensus decision? Does that sound correct? Yeah, this is Zell. I'm looking at everybody, and I think that's correct. Especially with Mwada, whoever has the best, can we just go with those easier rolls of, like, whoever, I would assume Mwada, yes, can we just roll for that with our best, whoever's the most able? Okay, yeah, because of the magical wrench and Wada's condition, but you're also in this place of heightened awareness and things, you okay, all right. Okay, so a quick question. So there's, you could send down 8 goofs, so there's Goof, and he has 3 nephews. Then there's like another green goof. Then there's like about 14 total characters you could try on. Do you want to try on all of them or a limited number? Is there if we try on all of them, doesn't that increase our odds of, yeah, it does. I just wanted to, okay, that's what I mean. Like, about, I mean, I'm going to, yes, thank you. Okay, so you're successful at training 7 of them. and then the other ones fail, and they just don't activate, or they kind of just wander around. But those 7, you feel confident you've trained to sit in the car, get out of the car, and find a wizard or anyone they encounter down there, and hold on to them. But it won't backfire. Like I rolled for that too. So they know who all of you are. Okay. So can we just send them down? Okay. You successfully send the cars down. Okay. And then I guess we should go down right away because, we should I guess we didn't talk about that, but maybe wait like 30 or seconds or a minute. What does everybody think? Eleanor, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yes, Lord Von Chill here. I think that works. Could we get in the car? I'm excited. Do we know if this is a good idea? DM, I don't you heard the other cars going, but it's tough to hear, because of as Elle said, the noises in this place. Granada here, I can use a lasso and I have multiple lassos I could make, and then I could use the lasso to kind of help us go slower, if that sounds good to everybody, like a little bit like rappelling. And then I could control the speed of our car independent, since we're not animatronics. I'm sure if the animatronics, they'll be fine. Okay, this is Zell. I think that's a brilliant idea, DM. Okay, so you're going to slowly rappel down in the car with Granada, using it to control your speed. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so you go down. So far, the first rope runs out. Granada throws the second rope, and it thinks it held, but it didn't. So when Granada lets go the second rope, the weight of the car pulls let's go the first rope. The second rope does not hold. And your car picks up speed for a little while. You all kind of brace yourselves, and you're kind of figuring out what to do. But before you could even discuss it, the car kind of goes into a braking area, and the back, 3 out of the 4 trains. There's 2 trains, 2 cars each. You slow down enough, but then you get stuck behind a train. 3 cars went down. 1 car's there in the brake area. You safely get stuck behind it. There's 2 animatronics there, and they're just sitting in their seats. Okay. Can we push their car out of the way or do something? And can we double check our ropes next time? Okay, this is the DM. You're not the car. Those cars are permanently, you're stuck. You're going to have to find an alternative way down. Okay, can you give us an idea where we are? Yeah, so you're on a platform that would be used actually to get people on or off the ride. And there's kind of catwalks going in each direction. It looks like if you went left on the catwalk, that seems to be where there's more of the pulsating noise coming from, where to the right it heads more towards the side. That's to the left is more towards the center of the building, where to the right is more towards the side of the building. Okay, can we head towards the right and see what we see? And go ahead cautiously, with caution. Okay, eventually you get to a ladder, and you'll have to climb down, and it's pretty far. So I can roll for everybody if you want to do that, or you could kind of keep going. Okay, can we check the ladder for sturdiness and, really check the ladder for sturdiness, and then how long is this going to take us? Or should we look for other options? Okay, you check the ladder for sturdiness, and it seems pretty sturdy. Like it's built into a support, so you're confident that that it's sturdy. But as you're also checking it, you start to hear the sounds of like distant, covered up sounds of commotion, which I don't know what that would lead all of you to believe. It means our Lord Von Chill here. This means our crew's arrived down there. Let's start climbing. If it's that would be my votes. Yeah, this is I guess we better just get going. Okay, so you all are successfully climbing down. It does take some time, though, because it's like a ladder and you want it to be spaced out if you were doing it safely, which I was implying, I guess. So it takes you about 15 minutes to get down to the bottom of the ladder. Okay, as we're going down the ladder, did we hear, were we listening, and what did we hear, and then what do we see at the bottom of the ladder? Okay, as you were going down the ladder, you heard a lot of commotion, and then the commotion started to die down, and as you got towards the bottom of the ladder, you kind of hear someone in a somewhat intensified voice, trying to reason, but you only hear, and you hear the pulsing, and then you hear some other voices also reasoning or saying stuff. Okay, what does everybody think? Sounds like our plan worked. Maybe there was, maybe they think we're closer than we are, or they think that animatronics can hear them. But we should make haste, I think, because sooner or later, if they're really good wizards, they'll figure out a way to get out of the animatronics. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So what do we see here? Okay, so you're at the bottom, so it's a big concrete floor, and you kind of see that there's like tattered fabric that they use to kind of separate parts of the ride to cause darkness or different effects. And so you can kind of see through some of the tattered stuff, like the tracks and a light source and the sounds and everything in a direction that would be kind of, if your back is to the ladder, or if you got off if your back is to the ladder, it would be to your right. Okay, I think we should kind of discuss a plan then before we head over there. What does everybody think of how should we play this? This is Granada. I think we should use stealth. I don't think personally we need to wander in and say, oh, what's happening here? I think we should get as close as we can with stealth and then be ready to close the portal, but also ready for anything. Yeah, this is Eleanor. I agree with that. I mean, they don't know Wada's with us, so I think Wada, is there anything you can do to find out more? Or if you sense anything, can you let us know? And then I think also we should be aware of Wada's plan, at least, to say, can we close the portal? Or where is the portal? So I think we should get closer, get more information, but be ready. Okay. This is Zell. Yeah, I think, can we see how stealthy we can be? Okay, this is the DM. Yeah, so there's a lot of noises, right? And as you get closer, you're moving with stealth. It's an area with a lot of places to be stealthy, but the good thing is that there's enough light and you can all see enough that it's just kind of, it makes it easy for you to kind of get closer and closer towards the sounds and light. And you can definitely hear as you're getting closer, the wizards the voices seem to be trying to reason with somebody. And also you hear some brainstorming about exactly what Lord Von Chilled said, we got to get out of it. We got to get, can anybody get free? or think of anything. And then you also hear some wizards trying to cast spells, but they don't seem to be working either. Okay, Wada, do you think that's important, that the wizards can't cast a spell? This is Wada. I mean, I guess it's important to know because it may limit. I think we should keep that in mind if whatever they're dealing with or the portal is blocking some sort of magic use, or if it's just that the animatronics are so effective. I don't think but I think we should prepare not to be able to use magic. But other than that, kind of going along with our plan. Okay. So should we just try to get closer? I don't know. Did we stop for some reason? I can't remember. You did stop now. While you're talking, you notice, at first you thought it was just another light or something, but there's a light coming towards you. It's kind of not growing a lot. It went from a prick, and it kind of seems to be floating towards all of you, and it's definitely coming towards you at kind of a slow meandering pace, but it's making its way towards you. Okay, everybody get ready. We should try to still be quiet though. Anybody have any idea what's coming towards us? Wada, do you sense any magic? Is there some sort of, could we just be ready and try to figure out what it is? Okay, I'm going to use you then, Zell, and since you're the leader, you're watching it, everybody's ready, and you do say, this looks a bit like one of those, nighttime light friends we used to catch as kids out in the forest. It reminds me of that coming towards us. Seems to be slightly bigger, and but I would still say ready. Just stay ready, just in case. And also, you do say, Granada, you sense anything mechanical or at play here, or anything sort of surprising? Granada rolls and says, nope. I'm clear that there isn't anything mechanical because I rolled a 16. Okay, so I guess we wait for this thing to approach dramatically, and then what happens? It's like a firefly from my youth or something like it. It's coming towards us, and it arrives, and then what happens? The firefly, which is about the size of a small ball you could hold in your hand, floats in front of you. And it does have features that are familiar to you, like eyes and a nose and a mouth, but you sense something otherworldly about it. And it looks at all of you, and it says, are you with the wizards? This is L for my party, not for the DM. Is it okay for me to take the lead on this? And then if you feel like you need to let me know anything, to just interject or, you know what I'm saying? But I'll see what I can figure out here. But I'm going to slowly, you know what I mean? I'm going to take the lead. You're our leader, Zell. Yes, Zell, you're our leader. Okay, this is Zell speaking to the, who are you? I'm Zell. Who are you? Hello, Zell. It would be tough to explain who I am. My name would not make sense. I'm trying to figure out what I've learned from your world, but I'm a concerned citizen from my world. And that's you could call me CC, I guess. Okay, CC, you're from another world? Yeah, I'm from the world of portal is opened. I thought, did you send down those dancing space dogs, that embraced the wizards? Maybe we did. I just don't fully, I'll be honest with you, we don't fully trust you, CC. We don't even know who you are. And can you tell us more? Well, they came down on the ride a few minutes ago and embraced the wizards. And they're holding the wizards in their embrace. The timing was interesting because the reason I came out was I saw coming into your world a being from our world that has entered your world. And the wizards, it's complicated, but it's not a good thing. Okay. That could have been us, but could you get can you just help me understand the situation more? So the wizards are now in the embrace of dancing space dogs or their space friends. And you are from the portal. My understanding, right now, to give you what we know, is that portal goes to another world, a kind of magical realm. And that maybe we are tasked with closing that portal to protect our world, because our understanding is that it's like that your world is so full of magic that is neither all good or all bad. Wada, am I like close here? And but it's not compatible with our world. Yeah, this is Mwada. This being does seem to be made up of some magic that I don't understand, but also, yes, it does a great summary, Zell. Ah, yes, this is Cece. Yeah, that's a water-based being. You are correct, I believe. I don't totally understand your world, but I would say that your theory that a lot of beings in our world are incompatible with your world, including the being that has exited the portal and is now meeting some of your wizards there. And to give you, the wizards have been here a while messing around with this portal, I think waiting for you. And I was listening at the door because I was concerned that this portal's been open and that the wizards, they've been trying to learn what they can. They've, unfortunately, they didn't realize that our world is kind of more of like it's not all solid material. And so they sent in some wizards that it didn't work out for because you can't enter our world in solid form. Like even if you look at me closely, you'll see I'm a little bit gelatinous, and the being that has come out is like a giant SLUG that you would see in one of your gardens. And also I'm able, just so you know, I'm able to absorb not absorbing you, but get information from you as we spend time together and from the wizards. And I do know that I absorbed from the wizards that I've been watching. They weren't honest with you, that you are the party they hired to close the portal. But the Wizards Council, with this access to this magic, they also wanted to close and open the portal and study it. And then they felt this powerful force, and it came too close, and now it's come through. And this is an organic being in our world, but in your world, the power of the magic of this being just not compatible with your world. And it's dug a hole. It may have even gone into the earth. It's like conferring with the wizards in a way that the wizards would not enjoy. Okay, Cece, can I just also, on behalf of my party of adventurers, kind of reflect back to you what you said? So the wizards, we were tasked with coming and closing the portal. We may or may not have the ability to do that, and we don't totally understand that. And we've got nothing against your world other than if it's not compatible, we'd like to close the portal. I don't know what you want because you haven't made that clear, other than you're concerned. It sounds like the wizards were mucking about, and they wanted us, from other information we know that maybe you're already learning from us by studying us or whatever, that I'm not sure I'm comfortable with. they wanted to kind of wear us down. So when we got here, they probably could have told us what to do. But we still want to close the portal and complete our mission, weather the wizards, and maybe give the wizards a stern talking to. So we definitely don't trust the wizards anymore. And they definitely maybe underestimated us. So would you help us close this portal and maybe get this giant slug being from your world back? Because what would happen if we close the portal with the slug being? It wouldn't be compatible. It would change your world slowly. It kind of like takes on, it assimilates. Like that's what it's doing with some of the wizards, but it's in a state that's neither, like you have stages of existence. Inside of that being is like this long stretched out existence, which you're not really your universe isn't designed for that kind of existence. So you wouldn't enjoy it. Like it's too hard to explain. It's just a totally different type of existing. Okay, so can we get that thing back in there, then close the portal? And what other things are we seeing that we shouldn't do? Is there any help you could offer us? Is there anything you could tell us about how difficult this is going to be or best practices? And, is the something about it, the magic's not working? Yes, there's not much I can do to help you because I'm just a small little firefly. You seem to be powerful to deal with the slug. What I would say is I could go back into the portal and find, we do have other types of beings, not the same as me, more like in your world, you'd call it an infant. They're not like an infant in our world. We call, what would I say? Steam beings. They're mist beings. And I could call some mist beings and ask them for help. What they could do is go into the tunnel that the SLU, like try to pull anything out of there. Because I don't think you'd be able to do that. I guess if there's some way you could get it into the portal, the slug, and then close the portal, and then we use some of the steam beings. The only other thing I would be concerned about is anything left over. Some of the steam beings will be left over. They're not suited. You would be asking them to come live in your world. So I would say if there's a way to seal, like, you wouldn't want them interacting with your world. Like if you keep them in a building or, you know what I mean? It's not incompatible in a negative way. It's just, it wouldn't be fair to them or to you to have them wandering around your world. Okay. Also, we have this staff. We're not exactly sure how to use it. Did they had that magic question? Oh yeah, magic doesn't seem to work. You could use some of the you could use the staff, that must be the way I think my understanding is that you're closing the portal by absorbing it into that stone on the staff. And, it would be simply when you're ready to close it, just imagine it. Whoever's holding the staff is like focusing, so someone that would be very good at focusing and holding the staff, like kind of focusing on it closing. I think you could probably use the staff, at least it has kind of the power of the portal to like imbue your tools there for battling. Maybe I think that would work. Maybe your magic user would know more if they, made a attempt or something. But yeah, I can help. I think we would also need someone. This is like a little complicated, but I think convenient because I've met your other friend there. I can't get back into the portal without some help. So I need someone to kind of, it's just my certain, same with the SLUG or the steam beings. We can't just go back into the portal. It's tough to explain, but basically you have to be taken into the portal or taught. Again, it's like you would say we're unwilling to go through the portal, but it's more of not able to. Like, I can't will myself back into the portal even if I want. Okay. Wada, could you... Let me review everything before. So, basically what we need to do is we need to trust you that you'll help us with these steam beings, create a, in some sense, like a weather pattern where your steam beings are going into the tunnel below the SLU slug being, enforcing any remnants or whatever that we don't understand, in forcing those back into the portal. But those steam things aren't necessarily able to push the slug in ourselves. We have to do that. Obviously, we're the heroes or the adventurers, maybe. I'm not saying that in a grand way. That's on us. The hardest part is on us. You need somebody to pull you into the portal or take you into the portal, and none of us solid beings could do it, but Wada is a water-based being now, so Wada might be able to do it. We can't use magic, but we might be able to imbue our my bow or arrows and everyone else's stuff. Someone with great focus, which is Eleanor, I think. But Eleanor, you can disagree. Needs to close the portal when we get the slug through it. Also, we need to figure out how to seal off the park or the building for the steam beings to be here. So, Wada, I would need some help with some of this stuff with your knowledge. Okay, well, that's great, Sal. I think that's all really solid info. I guess I would roll Wada to see if I could come up with a plan to seal off the park, and I guess I'm happy to take the lightning bug into the portal, because if I'm liquid, I would guess I would ask, are there any other consequences? But I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to roll to see if I could come up with a plan to accomplish that. It sounds like what CC is saying is that using the staff on your things would give us some kind of bonus, which probably the DM would be able to tell us what that is. Yeah, so I guess I would turn it over to the DM. I mean, I'm ready to find out those two things. Okay, this is the DM. Thanks, Wada. So for as far as the staff goes, you would have to decide to try that, and then I would tell you the results, which I'll tell you the results just in case, and then you could try it. But you could power all of your things, and it would give you a pretty nice advantage, like basically a bonus and double up, but you're not exactly sure how long that will last, obviously. So wait, they'll do double damage and we'll have a bonus? Yes. I mean, not double, you know what I mean? Like an advantage, yes, yeah. I mean, we'll roll, but, yeah. Okay. And then rolling for so Wada says, well... the one thing I could think of is that there is a way for the wizards those are powerful wizards out there, if they're from the Wizards Council, and they could choose, if there's 4 of them, to create a 4 points, like they could go to the 4 points around this theme park and pretty much permanently seal it off. Like some things, natural things would be able to cross in and out, but this already has boundaries and stuff. So it wouldn't be 100% sealed against air and weather and stuff like that, but sentient beings would not be able to, like anything sentient, which I think it was my understanding, even if it's from another world, wouldn't be able to cross in or out permanently. The only thing is the wizards would have to choose to do that, because that would be, in order to enact that thing, according to the rules, they would have to, that would be their permanent status forever. Like kind of like the other beings that were guarding the building. I don't know if those were volunteers or not, but they would have to volunteer to do that, to seal the park, and give up their existence. I mean, okay, this is Zell. I don't know. Is there a way we can communicate with them? Wada, can't you do some sort of water talk into the ears? Like, how likely are we to be able to convince them to do that? I don't know. I mean, I can talk to them, yes, through water. Yeah, water ear talk. That's how I communicate with all of you now. I'm pretty sure I could do it at this distance. The thing is that, I don't know if they do it. I mean, they might feel bad. Oh, I'm sorry. Cece, did you have something to say? I just had an idea. So there were 6 wizards. One wizard has already joined with the slug, and another wizard is in the process of that. But the other 4 wizards have been watching that unfold, and they kind of have a sense of what that would be like. So you could just give them a choice. You could wait, and they could join in with the slug, which they know is not going to be a pleasant, permanent state of existence too. Where if it's my understanding with this situation, they would actually move on to another stage of existence. This one, they would be locked in one stage of existence, like within the slug, versus they could do something good, protect their magic in the world, and move on to whatever the next stage of wizarding is. Is that correct, Wada? Sounds correct. Okay, this is Zell. Can we just roll for this? Because this kind of feels cursory. Okay, yeah, so you roll with it. And can we get to I want to get to this dealing with this slug thing. Okay, so the wizards agree to that. Wada presents that choice. They say, okay, let us know when, and we will do it, but please hurry up. We'd much rather, please hurry. Okay, so this is we got to come up with a plan now. So we have our blessed weapons. We'll send we didn't ask Cece about what will happen, how we get Wada back. So basically how are we going to get the slug in there? Can we push it or something? How big is the slug? Can we get closer and observe, Cece? And can you answer the question about Wada? And can we roll to get as close as possible to see what we see? Okay, so you get as close as you can see. The slug is very big, and it's gelatinous. So pushing it is probably out of the option because you're watching. You probably don't want to touch it. It's pretty apparent you could get you probably want to stay at least a axe length away from it. Oh boy! So how are we going to get this thing in there? How big? How big is big? Like compared to the steam giant, is a slug bigger or smaller? Oh, much smaller than that. Like it's about the size of 2 of you, or 2.5 of you, 2.5 Lord Von Chills, where the Steam Genie's about 6 or 7 or 8 Lord Von Chills. Okay. Oh, this is Granada of Dormach. I have an idea. What if I sneak out? The Steam Giant can't see. I could use my lassos. And, I also I do have some animal husbandry skills. What if I ride the Steam Giant in? Maybe we even use the wrench on the Steam Giant, or I could try and use it to toss the slug in. Okay, I like that idea. I guess we can try that. I think we should probably, because I can see the DMs making it like there's a time like that once that wizard's done, which it seems like that time is passing and I'm aware of it because I see a time moving. So I mean, it does it, but that's the reality. We'd be watching it anyway. So I think we should make our move, get the wizards to seal off the area, send Wada and CC into there to get the steam beings out, and have Granada, see if Granada can sneak out and get that. And then Lord Von Chill, Eleanor, and I will engage the slug at a distance, or what does everybody think? This is Lord Von Chill. I would say yes. Like I'm not trying to be a hero, but I think that you, Eleanor, needs to be the most protected with the staff. Zell, with your bonuses, I think your longbow, and I will get close, but I will remain a safe distance away. Because I'm trying to think this, if this thing is like double or 2.5, that means its hit points are double or 2.5 or more. And we probably need to weaken it for, you know what I mean? Okay. And yeah, I guess we can accidentally safely assume that our weapons will work because of the blessing of CC, you know, CC's idea. So we would have to roll. Okay, so we'd have to see, is CC and Wada successful? Is Granada successful? Are the wizards successful? And can we engage? This is Lord Von Chill. Quick question. What about, you haven't told us what's going to happen to Wada. If the wizards are going to seal the park with us in it, though, too, correct? This is CC. Wada will come. Unfortunately, Wada will have to be a member of our world and see if we can make it. I don't think Wada has kind intentions, so Wada could be another concerned new citizen in our world. But there's no way for Wada to re-enter your world without it messing up our plans. Okay, what about the rest of us? So DM. The whole theme park will be sealed off. So it's pretty big, but yeah, that'll be your world forever. Okay, but there could be other adventures in the theme park for heroic, but I can't return to my castle and manor. Now that's unfortunate. Zell, Eleanor, Granada, what do you think? Granada of Dharma, I'm not happy about this, but I have, we have to do what we have to do. This is Eleanor. The 3 Florences will guide my choice, and it's clear. Yeah, this is Zell. We got to do it. And yeah, I guess we'll have to learn to get along or something. And Wada, how do you feel? Normally, I think we could have a big talk about this, but I'm watching the wizard's almost done. So, yeah, this is Wada. It's fine. It's been a pleasure working with all of you. But I think we have a lot of things to roll for. So I will say goodbye to all of you. But because it's been a pleasure and I've learned a lot. Okay, that's like it. This is it. That's a little anticlimactic, but just what we have time for. So, does all that make sense, DM? Can we roll for all that, or what do we have to roll for, and what can we do? Okay, so Wada communicates with the wizards. That's check, and the wizards are ready. So you would just have to Wada and CC go into the port. Can go. You want all this to happen? I just want to make sure. Wada and CC will go into the portal, release the steam spirits. At the same time, Granada's going to be sneaking out, and then you'll engage, release the wizards. The wizards will make their attempt, and then we'll roll for. This will be an encounter, so we'll roll for initiative and go from there. Let's do it. Okay, so CC and WADA don't have to roll. That's just kind of part of the story. So they do go in, there's tear shed, yada, yada, yada. The steam spirits come rushing out. That's one thing that's happening. At the same time, Granada 16. So you do successfully sneak by. This is all going to be part of a round. So I'm also, okay. It just has to be because otherwise it'd be too hard to track. So basically the order of action is going to be Zell, LVC, Slug, Eleanor, Granada. And the wizards would go between Zell and Lord Von Chill. But they only have 2 actions to leave, and then can they complete it? But they're like very, very high level wizards. So, does that sound straight to everybody? Sounds interesting. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so everything happens at once other than what's happening in the background with the steam spirits. But that kind of gives you confidence as you see them flowing out and into this hole below the slug, which you say, wait a second, does that hole go all the way to the tower? And it does, but you don't know that, but whatever. So you go in, Zell, so Zell, just Lord Von Chill went over your actions, but I just want to double check. And so you're going to be using your bow, LVC is going to be using his axe, and Eleanor, you'll be using your whatever you have, like your bow. Sounds good. Okay, this is what happens. So Zell goes, you launch, you get 2 actions. Oh, I guess your first action would be to release the wizards, which is successful. Your second action would be bow, which is 11 plus your bonus. So that does 12. I'll be using the numbers just to be clear, 12 on the slug. The wizards, after they're released, they do follow through and they leave. Ideally to go seal, at the 4 points to create this impenetrable barrier. Permeable but impenetrable. Lord Von Chill, you got 15 and a 2. So you do, on your first one, you hit and do 15. Well, I've never felt more powerful. Okay, now the slug goes, and the slug has 3 things. And first it uses, it's like, it is surprised, but it's not surprised into inaction. So it does, it gets a 14. It kind of swings at Lord Von Chill, does 12. And then it shoots like a slime shot, like just one thing, and that does a 13. Oh no, 2 shots. So 10 and a 13. So it hits Eleanor and Zell. It does 10 each. Eleanor, you get a 16, so you do 10 on the slug. Granada, you got a 16, so you successfully get out to the steam giant. In this round, it takes you 1 round to reach the steam giant successfully. Oh, and to get on it. So you reach, in that roll, you have the time to sneak out, jump on it from the thing, just because of the distance and stuff. It's not really that far. So with the bonuses and everything, Zell, you go from 47 to 37, Lord Von Chill 42 to 30, Eleanor 41 to 31, and the slug goes from 133 to 96. Whoa, 133 to 96. All right, this is Zell. Let's do it. Let's stay strong, and let's do it. And Eleanor, be ready. Let's go. Action surge and everything too. Okay. Oh yes, action surge too. Okay, so Zell, you do. Okay. 2 miss. You do 12 with your action surge. And you're so, and then Lord Von Chill, okay, so you do 30. So Zell, you get one thing off with one extra thing. Lord Von Chill, you get in 2 good swipes for 30. Slug takes a swipe at LVC and misses, but manages to squirt. It's kind of like a unpleasant, magical, like spillage on it. Zell and Eleanor. It does 10 each on you. Kind of like lava, but not like lava. Eleanor, you do 10 more on the slug. Oh, okay, Granada, 11, but you have your dexterity bonus. Okay, so you are controlling the steam giant with your things and trying to lead it in, but it is a bit wild right now. But you're successfully leading it back in, just not perfectly. And so for that round, Zell, you go down to 27. LVC, you stay at 30. Eleanor's down to 21. The slug's down to 44. All right, this is Zell. Let's just keep at it. Okay, also you notice that you feel the power leaving your magical weapons on this round. Okay, this is Zell. I don't think we should try to recharge them because we don't have any time to lose now. So can we just proceed? Yes. Yeah, this Eleanor, yeah. Okay, so Zell, you 9 and 16. So you do 6 on the slug. LVC, 11, 16, 8. So you do 8. Wow. Slugs roll. These are just the rolls. I'm 12, 18, and 18 for the slug. So LVC, you take 12 damage, and Zell and Eleanor, you each take 10 more on the spray. Eleanor, you got a 4. Granada. Okay, Granada, you successfully enter the room with you successfully get all the way back into the room in front of the slug in this round successfully. Okay, great. What does that even mean? It means you get like around, like with your bonus, you're in the 20 plus range. Okay, so Zell, you're down to 17. Lord Von Chill, you're down to 18. Eleanor, you're down to 11. And the slug is down to 30. Okay, so I think like this is, so should I try to grab it and throw it in? Is that what we're doing now? Is this the round to try that? I think you could try to pick up the slug. I don't think you could pick it up and throw it in one round because you know what I mean? Okay, well, I'll try to pick up the slug this round then, and everybody else going to do the same thing. This is Eleanor. I think I should probably focus on, if everybody's okay with that, to start to get connected to the portal and try to close it. And hopefully I don't take any hits or anything. Yeah, this is Lord Von Chill. Why don't you move behind me? I'll move back. I'll still try to go after the slug, but or behind the steam giants. Is that Zell? Yeah, I think this is a plan. Let's roll it. Okay, Zell, you got 11 and 4, but with your bonus, your natural bonus, you get to do 6 on the slug. Lord Von Chill, 4, 8, okay, 4, okay. So you do 7 on the slug. The slug, 2, 9, and 19, but with bonuses, that means that, but Zell, or Eleanor's behind Lord Von Chill and the steam giant. So that means 10 on Lord Von Chill and Zell. Eleanor, you got a 19, so you're very focused and ready to close the portal, and you feel connected to it. Granada, you got a 16, so yeah, you successfully pick up the slug with the, like you're like a wild bronco or something, but you're controlling the steam giant with its things, and your mind, I think, too, but because of the wrench, which we didn't talk about, but that would take too long anyway. But you successfully pick up the slug. Okay. Anything else happening? You definitely notice the force, the steam jet beings are like helping you almost, it feels like, and they've pushed other things, are flying back into the portal. You see Wada in the portal, reaching out with some sort of water magic too, or getting ready for something. And you also sense that the wizards have been successful. You feel some sort of confidence or pulsating. Okay, Zell, I think we should go for it. Let's try to throw that thing through the portal and close it up, right? Yes, Lord Von Chill? Yeah. Eleanor? Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, so so Zell, okay, so pretty much the same thing. So Zell, 17, 7, so 7 more, Lord Von Chill. Okay, 8, oh boy, so the slug, as you're trying to throw it or lifting it above your head, it has this other thing it can do, which is like pulsate out its whole body and like this kind of splash. And it does that on Granada to try to hopefully get Granada to fail. It does 17 on Granada. But you still hold on. Well, we'll see when you roll. Okay, this round you aren't successful on throwing it. You still maintain holding it, but you aren't successful in throwing it. Okay, and we're all close. What are our numbers here? Oh, you know what? Yeah, the slug is down. I think you should keep going. Okay, let's just keep going. Okay, Zell. Definitely, Zell, so Lord Von Chill can't reach. Zell, you hit the slug once. The slug still does another round on Granada. But at the same time it's doing that Granada, you successfully throw it in. Eleanor's focused on the thing. So, Granada, you do successfully throw the slug into the portal, but it also is spraying you as that's happening. And this isn't cheating either. It's like this would make sense, the order of action here. Also, I messed up on the earlier roll for Granada, so kind of already had. But anyway, so you take 32 of damage, but you also successfully throw the slug, because what really happened, I just get my notes a little confusing. Sorry, everybody, but as you successfully threw the slug and it sprayed Granada of Darmok, and the slug is thrown in, and Wada, catches it and the thing, and they pull it in. And then Eleanor, you're focused, and as soon as the slug goes in and you see it, and you make eye contact with Wada and Cece, the slug does even more spray out, but you all fire back in. So there's this other round of battle. And so the portal's closing. Zell and Lord Von Chill, you're still firing at the thing. Lord Von Chill, I think you would have switched to things. And Granada again takes damage from the slug. So it's pulled into the portal, and I don't know, it's hard to say because then the portal closes. It's sucked into the gem on in Eleanor's hand. And so it's gone. It's sucked into the gem. And Granada lays there and calls Lord Von Chill over, and they have a moment, I think, here. Wait, Lord Von Chill, does this mean Granada's there's nothing to do because we've used up oh no. And Granada, it looks like it's time for you. Do you have any last things you want to say? Yes, yeah, this is, I want to call out to Darmok, Gelada Tanagra. Shaka when the walls fell. I think I say Temba or, did the walls fall? Granada, thank you for your service. This is always hard with these end of adventure. Like, Granada was great. Couldn't have asked for a better sidekick. I wouldn't have ever considered him a sidekick. And Zell, you want to take it? You're our leader. As our leader, I think maybe we could just have I think we're now tasked with, we want to take a moment to thank Granada and Wada. But we did our job. I think the portal's sealed, and we're sealed here. Our next task would be to protect the portal, because we didn't ask if it could ever be reopened. But I think we have to safely assume that our purpose would be to hide the portal and keep it protected. And we know there's other beings in the spark, and now there's the steam beings. I don't know if we could live with them or leave them to be. So I guess we could have more adventures, but we could probably rest and maybe we just have a short recap session or something with the DM. But I'm proud of all of you. I'm proud to be your leader. And that, I mean, it is hard. These adventures do tend to be anticlimactic, and that's a good thing. We did it. We did what was on us, and we acted. It was creative solutions with Granada and all of us. And while we had some help, we didn't need any outside help to actually complete what we set out to do. And we did sacrifice some things, so I'm proud of all of us. So yeah, we could do a debrief next week. Is a shorter debrief next week. Does that sound good, everybody? Yeah, this is good. This is great. Thanks, everybody. I guess, this is maybe that's the best way to do it, because otherwise it's like, that was it. So yeah, let's take a break and then we'll catch up. I'll see everybody next week then. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sel, for it. Thanks. Okay. Good night, everybody. All right. I want to thank everybody who joined our referral program recently over at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. I want to thank Kay, Deb, and Maria. Thank you. Thanks, and good night. Helen, Kelly, and Courtney, thank you, thanks, and good night. Corey, Stacy, and Agnesika, thanks, and good night. Sophia, Megan, and Corinne, thank you, thanks, and good night. Allison, Betta, and Amanda, thank you, thanks, and good night. Kim, Amy, and Tasha, thank you, thanks, and good night. Jess, Meredith, and Tej, thanks, and good night. Diana, Brandy, and Helen, thank you, thanks, and good night. Susan, Stacy, and Callum, thank you, thanks, and good night. Michael, Sophia, and Kendra, thank you, thanks, and good night. Jenny, Amanda, and Cornelia, thank you, thanks, and good night. Candy, Linnea, and Egan, thank you, thanks, and good night. Laura, Danielle, and Amelia, thank you, thanks, and good night. Melissa, and Isabella, thank you, thanks, and good night. Emma, Mesh, and Marlena, thank you, thanks, and good night. Tiffany, Taylor, and Miroslava, thank you, thanks, and good night. Sheila, Dallas, and Ellen, thank you, thanks, and good night. Rachel, Sully, and Jessica, thank you, thanks, and good night. Angel, Christiana, and Melissa, thank you, thanks, and good night. Kelly, Mary, and Sarah, thank you, thanks, and good night. Gabriella, Charlotte, and Sakib, thanks, and good night. Megan and Kathy, thank you, thanks, and good night. And Chastity and Daniel, thank you, thanks, and good night. So thanks, everybody, for supporting the show on our referral program. Sleep With Me is free because of people that support our sponsors and support the show on Patreon, so I really appreciate that. We grow as a show by people spreading the word about podcasting, actually, in general. You don't even have to mention Sleep With Me. People will just... the right people find their way here. If you grow podcasting, just let people know about, show them how to use the app. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the referral program here. Thanks.